Adam, wake up. We gotta shoot this music video.
You got my fucking Crocs on?
Instagram models opinions. Obviously, you don't understand me. My bank account is so much different, so I speak a different language. Money counters on the table, I don't even know what day it is. Jade on my neck more heavy than a new baby is. You ain't hard, motherfucker, you talking the baby shit. If you want both country rapper hip hop, you can do the most on your mouth, you can get shot. You just made a mess, I put a hole in your chest aside that thing on paper face neck. Big fly, who the fuck is that? What boys they got? Hang time. It's game time. Who the fuck is that? What boys they got? Hang time. Let the Get banana, complain with rappers here to battle. The net effect on these rappers handling. Bitch, what? You got 6 9 tatted on your forehead. What's that? How many dicks you suck? Got a bad bitch in the kitchen, get her bacon. She better cook me bacon. She the chef, call her right on. How many shits missed that bar? Go up in traffic. I hope you hit that car. I'll be still for black because I hit that hard.
Welcome in, everyone. Just a song or two while we're getting warmed up.
I just hit you with a light bar. You should have got a lot more. You ain't never fight hard. You started in a stock drawer. Lock the door, call the back door. I got a lot more. You won't about to be my dog. You got a lot more. This is game time and I'm running on. Hang on. Who the fuck? What boys they got hang time? Who the fuck is that? What boys they got hang time? It's game time. Who the fuck is that? What boys they got hang time?
Fucking bacon cooking motherfucker.
Okay, we're gonna try something different here, everybody. Hang on a second. See if we can get some better sound. Of course.
Started the game we never got to finish. Play for blood, remember? I was just fooling around. I wasn't. And this time, I'm legal. New breed. Yeah. Come on. Just a nobody from the backwoods. Everybody telling me that I'm no good. They say that boy don't know the right. Don't let it like they think I should. I never had no time. Boom, coming out that bottom, boy. Hit my dirt broke out the road. Better trust you don't want this drama, boy. I'm trying to walk away if I can. Oh, my temper don't get the best of me. Y'all boys keep on testing me. These police got to be arresting me. And I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to. Speak my name and I know you. Better watch out who you close to. Cause even your dogs expose you. You hate to see me shine. Cover up your eyes. Close the blind, cause it's my time, no time. I'm see them around. They come down, we face the face so high. Hungry? Let's do it. Let's do it. Never say my kindness. Weakness. Even though I talk what I live, I believe it. Cause I'm real as they come. Never back. Cause I'm real as they come. Never back. Never run. I'm coming strong, but you can wait up. I'm about to take the lead. I ain't gonna wait up. I'm saying straight up. I ain't feeling it. Don't show nobody no feeling. Don't like nobody from the city. Got me nerves and don't fit me. My time the riches don't hit me. If being faces don't fit me. Got with me you all in my kidneys. My word playing so nifty. But thank the Lord that I'm gifted. Should have been locked away from my crazy ways. Could have been writing this from a present. Could have been dead in the grave, talking to your way, but I had to make a change and I did it. And I made my mistakes, but I had mistakes. I'm wide awake and I'm living. Don't ever think that you fake. Somebody just hurt your feelings. And I push it to the limit. I say what I believe in. I tell them like it is. And everything I talk about. Talking how I live. Y'all just talking what you want to do. I'm talking what I did. I can tell you about that real life. Ain't nothing counterfeit. I've been hopeless and homeless. Lost inside my emotions. Screwed up in no focus. I slept on the floor with roaches. I hurt the ones that love me. My heart turned black and ugly. My own family don't trust me. Sometimes my life disgusts me. I always lived in struggle. People said that I was struggling. Always on the hustle. Trying to get it off the muscle. Had to get it how I lived. And I was living like a savage. You said you want that real talk. Well, I'ma let you have it. I'ma let you have it. I'ma let you have it.
Longer. Let's do it.
Take my kindness. Take my weakness. Even though I talk what I live and what I believe in. Cause I'm real. Never back down. Never run. Cause I'm real. Never back down. Never run. Inside my head, I promise myself I will reach it. Right away.
Hey everyone.
Fancy pants.
Look at that, I believe it. And for somebody who's really the whole reason.
We have 8 minutes.
We have 8 minutes.
Still alive.
Fancy pants.
Fancy pants.
Oh, see?
Oh, he got happy fingers.
Ah.
Too late now.
Yeah, it is. I don't know what one this is though. I never heard this one. This one is just off the cuff. Hit a button. We're gonna let it play and see what happens. Never listened to this one before, so.
It's awfully whistly.
This-
Ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do or what to say. Been through hell so
It's too mellow.
many times.
Too mellow.
Making me sad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my birthday celebration day.
I wasn't gonna pick this song.
I know you weren't.
This was actually gonna be the next song. Here, I know
Alright.
you like this song.
All right, pick a song I like.
You find this very funny. I can't find it now. Sorry, I'm not gonna. It's not here. It's here.
What is it?
Yeah, I didn't say. You just want to click on it and know it. The Fox song. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Oh, there it is. This one. This is a little bit more upbeat.
What is it? Oh, the pop song again.
You made me play it last week, so
I know, I made him play it twice last week.
I'm volunteering myself for it this week.
Now you're feeling it.
I'm trying though. It is a good kid song, you gotta admit. We're all kids at heart.
Hey, Seven.
Seven!
Say.
Let's do it.
You can't find another one? All right, let's do the last one.
You can take it.
Oh, all right, I can
It's
take
your
it.
birthday, yeah. That doesn't mean you have to pick
I
one.
don't, I know what one I wanted.
What one? I can help you find it.
I want the one where it's, I'm gonna have to. I'll have to show it to you online. Hi everyone, welcome. It's Jackie and Josh. We're feeling very indecisive at the moment.
I'm not. She is. I was just given an option to pick a song for her birthday.
All right, I got one I know I want. It's under our J&J, I think. This one here. Wait.
Or you just play it from your
No.
phone. Then.
All right, so I
You
gotta
don't
find
know.
it. No, it's not in that one. Maybe it's in the J&J. Wait, maybe it's in.
Is it this one?
No. I think it's under. What does it say? What does the fox say? Rid of the fox.
You figure one out yet?
I need to. Oh, I think it's in the thing. No. I don't know where it went either. We just can't find any songs.
You don't know what it is? Yeah, I don't. Any of these?
It's one of your. Yeah, it's one of. No, get down a little more.
Is it-
No. Oh, this one here. That one.
Okay.
Okay, I got one. Gotta stop that one though.
What?
You gotta stop the fox.
It's not done yet. Let it play.
He does this to me. He makes me hear all of the song. I want to change it in the car, and then he makes me. All right, it's almost over.
You'd have missed the
All right.
man. That like sweet little archipelago type ending right there with the fox dancing on the hill singing it. It's great. You have to excuse me.
No, you can't go.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. So how's everyone tonight? Tonight we have a broadcast. Huh?
Calling it a broadcast.
I'm calling it a broadcast. It's serious stuff.
Holy wow. I know that. Whoa.
Let's go around
Those
the
are
world,
big
hitting
words.
licks together. You my bitch forever. I wanna mob with you, hitting licks
I'm getting all
together.
birthday wound up now.
Damn, we stick together. Let's run a threesome, hit a bitch together. Yeah, but honestly, we're enough together. Let's move to Paris.
This is like
and be rich
me and
forever.
Josh's song. We're
Maybe
hitting the
go
licks
have some
together.
kids together. Settle down in Florence, baby. It's whatever. Yeah, wintertime, we'll switch to furs. 40 kid peacock, his and hers. Vicuña plus got the Birkin purse.
You can't leave me over here all by myself.
Because you started early and disrupted my flow.
I think it. Oh, it's 9:19. It's 1 minute till showtime. 1 minute to showtime.
You already disrupted it 9 minutes ago. 10 minutes ago. Your birthday, though.
This shit together. Let's go around the world hitting licks together. Yeah. 101 ain't knowing like us. Why the fuck
All right,
you
it's
think
9:20.
like us? Hey, this shit together. Let's go
You gotta
around
kill
the
for
world
the
hitting
song?
licks together. Bonnie and Clyde, no reason to switch. Ready to die, it's just me and my bitch. Be out to Dubai when the season switch. Left some girls in the past, I ain't seen them since. Car from the plane.
Hi, Howard. Welcome.
Came to see you, took some days off for you. When
All
I
right,
come back,
awesome.
I would die for you.
Cadence,
Whatever you
Genevieve,
ask, you know I will
Amber,
supply for you.
Trace.
All that Chanel plush, I buy for you. Cartier and bracelet, 'cause I adore you. Answer whenever you call, I wanna
Yeah, I
call
just
you.
started a little early. Play some songs. Hey, NJ.
You make the boy calm down. I just wanna hear you sing this song out loud. And she loyal to the core. Worry about her, I ain't worried about yours. 101 ain't knowing like hey. 101
I'm gonna
ain't
turn the
knowing
camera
like
at you.
yeah. We this shit together.
He's dancing over there in the corner.
Licks together.
Hi, Michelle.
101 ain't knowing like us. Why the fuck you think they don't like us?
All right, he's ready.
We this shit together. Let's go out
I didn't say all that, but
licks together.
the song is over.
All right, we're official. It's 9:20.
9:20.
It's 9:20
Hello, everyone.
on 9:20. It is my
Oh,
I did that on purpose. It is my birthday celebration day because yesterday was my birthday and I didn't feel like celebrating yesterday. So we rescheduled our live for tonight. Let me get back to the broadcast.
The broadcast.
The broadcast. Oh my gosh!
Oh.
Hi, Jill. Hi, everyone. This isn't going well.
No, it is going very well. It's quite comical. Hey, Cadence, Horde, Sagittarian, Sun, Jill, Riel. Who else is
Everybody.
here?
Everybody.
Anybody I've missed so far? I shut my YouTube down and I don't know why I did that.
Oh, now your volume's on.
God,
Oh
look
my
at me.
God, we suck so bad.
See, I told you there's nobody to be in my chat.
That's okay.
We're
That's 'cause you haven't been live.
simulcasting to my
We're-
channel.
Yeah,
also.
we're simulcasting to Josh's channel also. Hi, Mark Jones. Thank you. So it's over on his channel too. Because there's some people over there who miss Josh because he hasn't posted anything there in like how long?
Let's go look. Let's see. I don't remember exactly.
And 7, if you're still here, we were just watching one of Josh's videos from 4 years
My
ago.
ninja.
And 7, he was giving you a shout out in his video how much you helped him by one of your live streams you did 4 years ago.
Wow, it has not been 4 months ago.
It's been 4 months since Josh uploaded a video.
Wow. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
You've
just
been
had-
quiet for 4 months.
I have been. I haven't had a lot. We've been doing lives, so I've been able to vent there, and I haven't really been feeling inspired much. And I'm like at this. I'm at 300. I've made 390. I have 397 posted videos, and I just, for some reason, can't find the creativity to come up with this last
This last
3
couple.
videos to hit 400, and I just had this like creative block where I just haven't really wanted to get on camera and say anything or even make anything. I make stuff too, but I haven't even done that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The live streams have been sufficing me. So hey, Josh, stay up, brother. Always.
So
Just that I guess my creativity's been pulled out elsewhere too, though. I mean, so work and other things. That's been priority lately, and because trying to get a bathroom done, that I decided to make this Taj Mahal of a bathroom. And oh wow, that made a huge
I know the fan was loud.
making a Taj Mahal of a bathroom, and I'm like that close to being done. So that's been a lot of my time, attention, and energy. It's been going to that, and
And wait till you all see it. I'll make a video of it when it's all done. He's going to make a video of it when it's all done too. But
right, sanitary, exactly. It's not always social, exactly. And then that's where it's been. It's like before when I was making lots of videos, I had a lot more time. Like I had more time on my hands, and I have time, but I'm just not I'm not feeling it because my attention's elsewhere. So yeah, exactly. Attention goes to different places, and creativity comes out in different ways. And I was speaking to you not too long ago about this same kind of thing, which was he hadn't been making very many videos. Any of you know your In a Thought Experiment. He's a good channel, good guy, down to earth guy. So anyway, him and I were back and forth a little bit, and he hadn't been doing any videos or live streams. And we were talking about, having that itch for wanting to do, the social media stuff, and how creativity has come out in other ways, in actual physical life and in other forms versus on here. So that's an easy way for your energy to get, if you're busy with your life and your attention somewhere else, it gets kind of pulled from here. So that's why anytime Jackie's lately been saying, hey, you want to go live, I've been trying to, because this time of night, we really don't have a whole lot going on, and it's finally calmed down for the day. And so this is, instead of making videos, I guess just lives have been making up for it. But I'm dang sure gonna make 400 videos. I'm that close. And it's not like I never once strived to make that many videos. I never even thought I would ever make that many videos when I started posting. And they've ranged, if you go all the way back.
Oh, I have 400 videos right
do
now.
you really?
Yes,
Sweet.
I beat
That is
you.
awesome. That's all right. It's okay.
I didn't even know how many I had. I have 400 videos on my channel. Wow.
If anybody gets curious, if you go back in any of my videos, it's been a kind of like it's been my journey, you could say. It's been
A journey for
a
sure.
journey for sure. I was going back. There was a couple of videos that titles that rang in my head, and I went back and watched them. I still haven't figured out why they're so like stuck in my head after watching them. I have to go back and watch them again. But anyway, it's just amazing to see my growth and progression over, since 4 years ago when I really started doing this, and where I'm at now and how my life is and where my life was when I started doing this. And because I started doing this, like I was a sky watcher, I was doing that. And then, like we said before, it was like a therapy thing. So to see where I was and seeing and remembering who I was during that time and where my mindset and who I am now and where I'm at now, it's just, I see a very good progression of things. And so that's what mine's like my journey, basically the ups and downs and different things and days that are good, and just sharing my messages that I had through the days and the years and now years, and never thought that I would be, still posting 4 years later. I just thought, it'd be a hit and miss and be done, one flash in the pan type of thing, just move on from it. And then, well, I'm still here. And, you could say, well, that's part of the social engineering or whatever, but for me, it's not that. It's what's kept me here is all the wonderful people that I've met, the amazing, wonderful individuals that I have come across and have had, interactions with. And that's what's really kept me here and keeps me coming back. And the new relationships and the new friendships and the new, building of community from more people, that's the thing. I let others and their views of things sway me from, who I am and what I do, and kind of kill my spark of things. And due to, just more experience of other people here, I've regained that spark, through just not giving up and just continuing on and moving on. And that was one of the videos I watched, was talking about not giving up and just keep progressing, and I was at a really low point in my time on that video. It was during the start of my divorce, and all kinds of things that my ex, was holding in her head about me started coming out. And I thought I was like this big in this world, and I really am only this big in this world. I mean, compared to the rest of it. But at that moment in time, my whole being of essence of who I was, and to just know that how I came out of that into where I am now. And I just know that the processes of things, that how you are with things, well, like our title is about, get along,
go along
to get along, through that whole situation. There was no go along to get along. There was no, that was over. And so that was one of the big lessons that I learned in that situation of things, is I've never been one to just go along to get along. I've always, spoke my mind, and, depending on the situation, sometimes I would just go along to get along. And usually that got me into a situation where I wished I didn't want to be there. I shouldn't have been there. But there comes a point in time though, where, us as adults or grown people, are supposed to, realize that it's your life, and you can't, if it doesn't fit with your heart and your soul and your being and who you are, then it's not okay to sit there and just to go along to get along, because now you're going against yourself. You're going against who you are. And, and that's within reason, you could construe this into, oh, well, this, that, and the other. But my point is that as long as it's not some, off the wall things that's going on, there are times and a place for everything. If you got to be reasonable, the discernment comes into play. There is, I do think that there are times where, if it's not that big of a deal, then go along with it, even if it isn't what you want to do. But you should always express. You should always, at least express your opinion and your views, especially if you have a better idea or view or a better way of doing things, or so you think. Even if the rest don't agree, well, at least it was brought up, and you at least vented your thoughts and your ideas, and you don't sit and stew on it and create a bigger, shitstorm out of something that didn't need to be. And
then I looked up what actually go along to get along, what it means. I Googled it, and what it means is to conform in order to have acceptance and security. And it also linked it to it also linked it to the fake it to make it. So those two phrases were linked together. Go along to get along. And what are you doing that for? You're doing it to conform, to have acceptance and security. So is acceptance and security what we really need right now? Is that what we really need right now? Is it okay? Is it a time where we need to be going along to get along, to be accepted and to feel secure? Do we want that to be the foundation? I don't think so. Right now, I don't think that that's where we want our foundation to come from right now. And the fake it till you make it. Whenever I thought I screenshotted that one too, but I don't see it here. And whenever we looked at that one up, it said that mostly only has an outcome that is negative when you fake it till you make it, because it's not of pure intention. If you're faking it, it's not your authentic self.
Right.
So it's not being authentic. So the outcome will not be favorable.
Right.
I think that's how it said it.
And there, I think, be honest, if nobody else is stepping up to do, and you're the one who's stepping up to do, and you don't know what you're doing, at least just be, or you're not sure how to handle it, at least be honest with it. But hey, this is the best I can do with what I know and what I have, I think a lot of people want to try to play off that there's something more than what they are. And then eventually it shows right through, and then that completely erodes your credibility whatsoever. Why would you want to start and listen to and believe, somebody that has been kind of trying to deceive you throughout the situation, So you're creating this, like when you say the fake it to make it, you're creating this false sense of, that you, to these people, whoever it is you're trying to project this message to, you're trying to give them this false message or this false, what isn't true. And eventually it's going to come out that you don't really know, or you're not whatever you think you are, or you say you are. And you're going to be shown to be a charlatan or fake, And so that's usually why it's going to come out in a negative, because those that have discernment and can see, they're going to be like, well, wait a minute, there's something not right here. You're not. And where you would get more if you're just honest about the situation or whatever it is that you're lacking in, even if it is you're the one who stepped up to do it, that you don't know whatever part of. I'm sure with the community around you of good people who are authentic in their word and what they say, you'll fill those gaps, you'll fill those answers, and you'll end up all of a sudden coming together as a true community and overcoming all kinds of bigger challenges. But like Sanitarian says about I know my teeth are my tongue and lips just don't want to act right sometimes.
Call them SS.
It's the SS it really throws me out, because I'm already thinking about the sun part before it comes to the Saturn part. Anyway,
hi Feather Bear. Welcome.
I think you do that on purpose as a tongue twister for people. I really do. Not only what it means, but I get it. But what did he say? He said something about if somebody walked if we all walked by someone who is starving, then who will be the one who starts to pay attention? First one who does is, and then the others follow. Exactly. Yeah. But sometimes I've had a situation in life once where that's not necessarily the case. You could necessarily be the guy who gets chastised for whatever. Oh, he's a bum on the street. I got in an argument with a guy one time and almost came to blows because I gave a guy a homeless person, sorry, $20 out of my pocket. Me, my brother, his best friend, and I were out. I went out with them, and we went out drinking one night in downtown Cincinnati. And we were drunk. We had stopped at a restaurant, got something to eat. We were leaving, going back to his condo. And this black guy comes up to me, and he goes, "Hey, man, you got any money?" And I was drunk. I was feeling good. I had a good night. And I told the guy, I said, "Well, I'm going to reach in my pocket, and whatever I pull out of my pocket, I'm going to give you." Well, I reached in my pocket, and it was a $20 bill. Well, I'm a man of my word, and so I gave the guy the $20 bill. But before I gave it to him, I said, "Now look, you go buy some food at least with this, and then after that, I don't care what you do with it." And he said, "Oh man, thank you." And so then he walked off. Well, then as soon as that guy walked away, I heard about it for the next 6 blocks all the way back to the condo, and for another 4 hours up in the condo. I was stuck with my brother, and I rode with my brother, so I was stuck in Cincinnati. If I knew the city and I had any more money in my pocket or knew, was more prepared, I or knew somebody in Cincinnati, I would have left, because we got to the point where, you know, he's telling me that I'm stupid for giving this guy $20. And my point of it was, what's it matter? It's $20 in my pocket. It's not going to make or break me. And who cares what this guy's going to do with it when it's done? It's not the matter. The situation was brought before me. So, you know, that's what you do. You just do.
Yeah.
When the time comes, you just do. You don't think about it. I never thought about it. I wasn't asking for God's graces because I did that. I wasn't even thinking that. A man came up to me, asked me for money. I had money in my pocket to give, so I gave it to him. I just spent, at that time, hundreds of dollars in the bars that night. What's $20? What's that going to break? But anyway, the point is it can go the other way too, is what I'm saying. You know, you could, next thing you know, you're the worst guy in the world because you did something good for somebody, you know, or what you thought you were doing. His big excuse was, oh, the bums in this town make more money than anybody else, and they're panhandling, and they'll get in their Mercedes. And I go, well, you don't know what that dude is. That dude could go into a cardboard box that night, you know. So, you know, anyway, it just shows you, you know, there was another situation where I wasn't going to go along to get along just because I was there in that situation, stuck in the middle of it. I was to the point where, you know, I'm not backing down from this because you're not going to do that to me. So anyway.
Yes. And what made me think when you're speaking that was if you are in the people you're around, you are to be around with, you can be authentic. If you're with your tribe, your people, the people you're comfortable with, you don't need to fake it to make it. You don't need to go along to get along, because you're not going to have that kind of kickback. So that was showing you in that time that was not who you were supposed to be with. Right.
No, right. It showed me that too. It just showed me the character of somebody who I grew up with these guys. You know, there was my brother's my younger brother's best friend. So I knew these guys since I was young. And so it wasn't like, you know, it just showed me that like where they had decided to take their life, you know, and what direction and what energies that they were, you know, going to give. And it was like a wake up call for those guys. My brother's not in the same category as him, but my brother wants to be like him. My brother strives to be in that same category as his best friend, who went on to be a banker. He works for Wells Fargo. He bilks people out of their homes, and he's a shyster shark. And his word can't be trusted, because I learned another time later on, God should have told me that, or God was trying to show me then this guy's character. So then I waited till later on in life and decided to do some more dealings with him on my business end of things, and replumbed his house for him. This house he owned in our hometown, which was his mom's old house. So anyway, he knew it had a bad well, so he's trying to sell it he sold it to the people, telling them it was a good well, and never informed them that it was a bad well. And then they tried to come back on me over the well, and I was like, well, no. I have it in writing right here where it showed him, and I had a receipt showing, or an invoice showing that I had notified him with his signature that he knew that there was a potential for a bad well. But it was just the shyster stuff that's disclosure stuff. You got to let somebody know that you're buying a property that has a bad well that's going to cost them $8,000 to $10,000 plus to put a new one in. But you know, that's just, so anyway, it was just more headache. It was more dealing with this guy, trying to give him a second chance and trying to, you know, get along because he's my brother's friend, go along to get along and give him another chance. And you just show, you know, you'll get burned in the end. You really will. And if I'd have just said, no, you can just find somebody else, you know, but I thought, well, this is mom's house. You know, there's all kinds of reasons why we do the different things we do for people. You know, we have all kinds of reasons, you know, and plus most of us are loving and try to be forgiving anyway. You know, every man's redeemable, I believe, every man and woman. And, but when you continue to do things, when does that point, you know, when does that redeemable point stop, you know, or when do you stop giving your attention to those people? Right. You know, that's the big question. Where do you draw that line? You know, for me, the older I get, the line gets shorter and shorter, or closer. You know, there's less of that, and anymore it's pretty much non-existent because it's just not any way to be. And why create more turmoil? Why create a false paradigm of things, or create something that you know is going against whatever it is that is causing you to, you know, have a disagreement with whatever the situation is. You know, And heck, you could be in the wrong. Speak up, you know. And that doesn't mean that just because half the room spoke up against you, it means you're wrong. You know, if you feel it in your heart and you know it to be true, then stand your ground. Let it be. You know, there's no reason that, you know, you can't. And other than fear, or just, you know, and most of it is fear, because you're afraid you're going to lose whatever relationship with these people, or you're going to make these people mad or whatever. Well, what I've learned in life is, if somebody loves you, if they care for you, you can, your words and what your opinion and your views of life may make them mad or upset, but it shouldn't, you know, if they really care for you, then they shouldn't be ones that they'll get over it, is what I'm saying. Is that, you know, we'll get over being angry and mad at each other. It's just an energy. It passes, we expel it, and eventually, you know, if we're willing to, you know, listen to each other, we can get past these types of things. And with people you care about and people that really listen to what you have to say, yeah, you may get mad at each other, but you should be able to get on and past it. And if not, well, then keep on going.
Yeah.
Virgo, I love cats. Thanks, John. I love cats too. We can't have cats anymore because, well, until my youngest one, Abigail or Madeline, anyway, Madeline is growing and out of the house because she's highly allergic to them. So we had to find homes. Excuse me. We had to find homes for our
Didn't
cats.
you do this last time we went live?
I did.
You got the belches?
Yeah. Something in this outer world, I believe, really wants to keep me
Mouth
from
shut.
ever talking and speaking and sharing my experiences and energies with everybody. I already do enough of it. I already do enough. I don't need the world's help. I have already, you know, it's done its job enough that it keeps my mouth shut too. And I have to be honest, some of the things why I don't do much anymore is just, I just haven't felt, you know, all that confident in my own message and who I am, and, you know, and I hadn't been, and it was silly because there's no reason for it. I don't know where it came from. I guess just some, you know, past regress trauma stuff that, you know, how that stuff works, where just when you think you're doing really good and you're moving on, then there'll be something that's a regress, you know, memory or something that pops up and you're like, son of a bitch, I thought I had that figured out, or whatever it may be. I'm reaching here. We're just speaking, talking, you know, sharing ideas. Hand pink waving.
It's just on there. It shows like if it's a certain icon, it will explain what the icon is if it doesn't pick it up. So really, so RICS, you put a pink waving hand and it's writing in our chat. Pink waving hand. He's like, what? Throw him off.
I've never seen that before, ever.
I don't even see it on mine. Hold on.
It's there, but it's on my channel. But
is it on yours?
Yeah,
maybe. Oh,
it
that's
is on my
why.
channel.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi from your channel. See somebody's at your
Hey,
channel.
somebody's at my channel. It's
All
amazing.
right. Thank you so much for coming to Josh's
Thanks,
channel.
buddy. I don't know who you are, but thank you.
Yeah. So, what were
Oh, I
some
don't
other things we
remember.
were talking about?
A great one I heard this week.
Oh yeah. We wrote it down. He wrote
Yes.
some stuff down.
I did. 'Cause
Took
I
some
didn't wanna
notes
forget.
because we didn't want to forget.
Okay, so I heard this story about this kid who was asked, like, pick a number of what you think you are, and he picked the letter or the number 0, and the teacher's like, well, you're not a 0, you shouldn't be like that. And I'm just paraphrasing here, okay, so don't, you know, shoot the messenger. So anyway, the kid picked a 0, and the teacher's like thought he was looking at himself as though he was a 0 and a nothing. And the kid said, no, you have it all wrong. You're misunderstanding. I picked a 0 because a 0 always adds to everything and never takes away. And so when you stop and think about that, anytime a 0 is added to a number, it multiplies that number extensively. So you go from a 1 to a 10, from a 10 to 100, 100 to 1,000. So, you know, a 0 always is adding value beyond its expectations or what one would expect of a 0. And then the other thing is it never takes away from anything. So what I'm getting from that is that, you know, you look at how a 0 minus 5 is, you know, still 5. You can't take nothing away from a whole number, you know. So it never can take away from anything, no matter what it does. So when it's in the negative, when the zero is in the negative, it can never take away. Level zeros, yeah, thanks. Thanks, says. So my point is,
I love you.
Zero to hero. I was thinking that today too.
Yeah.
Thinking about that. Zero to hero. That was because that was what my father-in-law used to tell me all the time about being a father. He's like, especially with girls, that one day you'll be a hero, the next day you'll be a zero. And I thought of that today with this too, you know, and that's not a bad thing. Being that zero is not a bad thing, you know. That means I'm doing my job as being a father. Then if I'm at that 0 point with them, I'm not taking away from them, or I'm going to be adding value to them.
Yeah.
And they may not like it, you know, but it's what it is. It's not such a bad thing. But even for ourselves to place ourselves in that position, 0 doesn't get a lot of credit in this world, I don't think. Kids want to start at 1 and then count to 10. And you end up saying the 0's there, you're giving it credit on the 10, but you don't want to give it credit at the beginning of everything. You know,
Right.
0 is a number, whether you want to calculate it as a number or not. In calculations, it's not, but it still holds a place. So
It's a
doesn't that
placeholder.
make it a number? Regardless of it holds anything or not, it's still a number. So, and here's another thing. This is all coming around because months and months ago, probably years now ago, wouldn't it? That rhyme that I have that's stuck in my head.
Yes.
I have this rhyme, and I might have heard it from somewhere. I don't know where it came from. All right, it just popped in my head, and I've been remembering it from this day on. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8 to 9. No more numbers. Start again. So then, this is like kind of brings it back to start again, back to 0. So then, even if you make it past 9 to 10, you're starting again because you're back to 1, 0. You're back to the beginning of the number sequence again. So I don't know how this all fits in. I'm just wanting to share this all together of the importance of 0. Like we don't give it that, and so then that ties into something that Jackie's always been like kind of referring to and talking about is the 0 point, and we hear it in other things. But for our own self, like a center point, a 0 point for ourselves. Like I believe that we all have to find that in ourselves. We have to find that center where we can bring ourselves to a point of, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Where some would call it Zen, but it's not. I don't look at it like that. It's just where you can calm yourself in your mind and bring yourself to a clarity point for the situation that's at hand. And I guess it's easier for me because I've been through a lot of traumatic things in my life. And so it's been easy for me to do that on the fly. And so, or to figure that out, to find a 0 point, find a place inside of me where I can deal with the situation, you know, as it needs to be, you know, at the snap of a finger. And I didn't realize it until later on in life, like those abilities that I had, or that ability to do that. And I think we all can do that. We just have to be able to clear our minds enough and have enough discipline of our own self and our mind and heart, and spirit, in order for these things to happen. And, you know, and I think that's where it's important, where you have your own, you stand on your own and you be your own, and not be afraid to be with yourself, you know, and you find yourself a whole lot easier when you're not afraid to be with yourself, you know. And so anyway, I think I'm getting off point here.
I don't know. Are you
I don't know. I'm just going.
talking about the zeros?
Zeros. Oh yeah, because we went on to something else.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting off a point. I was trying to go. Okay,
Yeah.
we're good. 0 point, 0 to 9. I talked about that. Okay, that was it on that one.
Yeah. So Feather Bear wrote nothing more, nothing less, and that's like perfect to the 0. There's, you know, nothing more, nothing less. It's that placeholder, that 0 point is, you know, nothing needs to be added and nothing needs to be taken away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just that center that, and whenever you're speaking of that boy who said that, the 0, and as I was hearing placeholder, it was like you're in your place where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're in your 0,
Right.
you're the placeholder of your being.
Right.
That's your place.
And I believe that's with
Mhm.
Creator. That when you're in
Yes.
that center point,
Yeah.
So you're saying somebody said here, no atheists and foxholes. Don't misconstrue what we're saying here. That I believe in Creator, higher power, a higher creator than I, and more than I ever can imagine, more than my little pea brain could ever, fathom in this realm of things. So that's my closest point to creator. When I'm able to get to that point and center myself to that 0 point,
Yeah.
like you're saying,
Yeah.
that's my closest connection to, that's where I believe is where we can create our closest connection to Father.
Yeah.
No matter where you're at, if you're surrounded by concrete block or you're in the middle of the woods. Now, granted, I think it's easier to find those centers and that quietness in the middle of the woods or in nature or in a natural setting as possible. But, it can still be achieved no matter where you're at, no matter where in this world you're at.
Yeah.
It's a matter of breaking those bonds and not going along to get along. I don't think you can do that you can't. In order to do that, you have to go against what this world wants you to do and believe you are. And so you have to go against the world. We have to stop the whole going along to get along with all and thinking it's going to change anything. You see, that's the thing. We've been going along with these people and their ideas because we don't want to hurt their feelings and we don't want to, we want to be politically correct and all these other things. But when is it enough? When do we, when is it like, okay, well, this is not working anymore? Being polite and nice is not cutting it no more. Like this is not the politeness and the platitudes and all this other fake shit. It's not doing anything. It's when we're trusting these people to do whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing. Who knows for sure? Ask the truther community. You'll get 10 answers. So, but anyway, the point is that how are we gonna, nothing's going to change if we keep being polite all the time. There's a license plate I used to read all the time when I did service work. I've seen this van all the time. And it said, I'd rather be BC than PC. And which basically means that I would rather live and be in the BC before Christ mindset before I'm politically correct. And because I talked to the person that I ended up working with the guy, but who had the license plate on his truck. It's funny how life works that way. And that's what he said. That's his explanation was that, I would rather live in the mind. He said, I would rather live in the mindset of before Christ than be politically correct. And so what did that mean? What does that mean? That means like I'm speaking now, and I've seen others speaking this way, is that we have to be, stop with the going along to get along. If we see something that we know is not spiritually right, or we know that we could help somebody or maybe add to the narrative to correct, and who's to say we're right or wrong? I'm just saying that we can add to help build to a person. I'm not sitting here to sit here and say that it's my duty to sit here and point out you are wrong. This is not right. I'm just saying that we can add and help, with each other in correcting or giving a different view, a different perspective. So then the person can use that for their own selves to become the better person that they need to. And then we all end up realizing that we're all, on the same level, on the same page, and we all believe in the same things, and we all get over all these little stupid mind cages we put ourselves in. Or Animal Farms is like, has anybody read Animal Farm? If you haven't, go read it.
I haven't.
And then I want you to place and think about that for a second, about where we live right now and the different, we all live in different little animal farms. It doesn't matter if you're political driven, if you're political driven, if you're in the truther community, I don't care where you're at. You're just in a different pen. You're in a different animal pen. You're in a different farm and a different part of the farm. And there's still the head guy running everything, making you feel like you're where you're supposed to be. And if you get too disruptive in one pen, they move you to another. But here's the trick of the matter. This is what I learned from Paul, is that the gates are all open. There are no gates. Really, there's no fences. We just think there's a fence, and we just think that we're there and we're safe, and we're given these false senses of safety and all these other peace and safety things. And the gate's open for everybody to walk out of.
Yeah.
There's not a single lock on nothing. Matter of fact, there's not even a fence. And we put ourselves in these mind cages everywhere we go, just to get along, just to go along, just to think, if I go along, it's all going to get better. How does it get better when nobody's doing? When, there's a handful of us doing, and I get it. We just have to, I guess, be louder. That's one other thing I learned from a good person, Paul, is that maybe we just all got to be louder. And I get it. Oh, it hurts my feelings.
Yeah, and quit
so
with
loud.
the over niceness. The over niceness.
Right.
It's not
the over niceness.
It's not the being not being nice. It's the over niceness. It's that it has just softened our whole reality so much that if you even raise your voice a little bit or even speak any truth, even if it's truth that might hurt, that no one can handle it anymore. Okay.
Wobbly, exactly. And then they tell you not only they hate you, but to get away from you. I don't know you. Like they're like, what are you talking about? What gate? You're crazy. There's no gate. There's nothing holding me down. I'm not bound to this world in no way.
Mm-hmm.
And not realizing the whole time that they're every moment of their breathing life, they're binding themselves even more to this earth.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It really is, because it's I'm no different than any of them. It's just a matter of, I don't know. It's a fear and programming. And if your mind's not strong, you're just gonna keep going right along. The rest of them are just gonna keep going right along with it. I don't really think there is any saving this world. I used to think that. I used to think like Mr. Jack Talcott, that we're gonna save the world. My influence and my energy and my light's gonna save the world. Well, I have to, because
okay, I know.
I was in that place once where I thought I could come on here and just start, my views and my ideas and the things that I knew were lies was going to change everything. Well, then it just falls on deaf ears over and over again, because each person is under a different programming. It's taken in different parts of the programming, I believe. And so that's where I realized that this mission isn't up for me to fix anyone. I'm not here to fix anybody. I can't fix you. I don't know you. I've not lived your life. I've not lived your experiences, your traumas. You're not, your life in general, your joys. So there's no way I can fix you. I am you. I went through my own, but all I can do is give you my examples and my experiences and what I feel to be truth and the way. And you have to take that for you and apply it to your own self. I can't save anybody. I can't do Jackie's work.
Sure
no matter how much I try.
Sure you can, Josh. Do it for me.
What am I going to tell you?
I don't know.
Yes,
I can't,
you do know.
I can't do it for you, Jackie.
It's your work.
It's my work.
It's all of our own work. I'm here to support you. I'll help you. I'll give you my honest views and my honest, thoughts and ideas and my honest opinion even. But in the end, I can't do it for you. I can't lift your feet up and make you go out the door and do whatever. I can't change the words coming out your mouth. I can't help the ideas that you hold on to and the new thoughts you create. All I can do is help to be an example of a different way and share my ideas and thoughts. And so that's where I've shifted to more, is that I'm just here to share. I'm here to share where I'm at and what I'm doing, and, help others, of us in the truther community who do have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, that to realize that we are in more of a cage than you realize. Until I met Paul Unslaved, I thought I was doing the right. Thought I was moving my business in the right way. I thought I was getting off of the system and being in the least a part of all of this as I possibly could. I thought I had freed myself from so many chains, and then just to realize I was just in another pen. I hadn't fully, I'm still giving into the system of things. And that's the hard part. It's like trying to figure out, wow, how do it's easy to say, I will not partake. I've been saying these things a long time. Like Richie from Boston started a long time ago for all of us. We do not consent. I will not partake. But we still do.
Yeah.
And as long as we still do, there's never going to be a change. When we start not partaking, we start, standing up and pointing out the things. See, maybe it's not so much pointing out to each other. We've got to start pointing out what's in front of us from those that say that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're not. Why are we not getting more people pointing out those things? Why are we attacking each other so much? Why are we not going after the people that are actually, causing these problems or a part of the problem? Maybe not causing it, but just, partaking in it and not realizing how deep they are in it, I don't know. These are just I do know. These are just my thoughts and my ideas.
I do know.
No back,
I do know.
no check.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I work for myself. So I don't have to worry about no check from nobody.
Yeah.
I started that. That was one of the reasons why I started my own business, was so that I would always be able to generate my own income by my own will. And there is nobody that's going to guarantee or going to guarantee, or I don't have to rely on somebody else to pay me. It's all on me and how hard I push myself. Now, granted, the economy gets bad enough, but I'm in a position where if it comes to that, I'm still not reliant upon somebody or something. I can still barter, trade, do other things, do work for. In my field of what I do, I'm very skilled in what I can do. So I know I don't idolize him. I'm just saying RFB. I know he's fake. Don't slow down, SS. I'm not
Long
praising
time
him.
ago.
I'm just
Long
saying
time
there was
ago.
just there are bits and pieces that these gatekeeper trolls, give us. There is. That's why they're able to draw in people. It's because they do have sprinkles of truth on their piles of shit that they're deceiving the rest of us with. And that was just one of those. That's the only thing I can tell you that I've ever, other than, no, that's about all I can tell you that I can remember from Richie from Boston, to tell you the truth. I'm just saying, I agree. He's fake. He's a fucking shield troll, a gatekeeper, like many of them are. But we all were there. We've all been there at one point in time. We've given the man some kind of our energy and listened to something he has to say.
Yeah.
And so, that's the thing. That's what I take from all these people. You can be mad at yourself. We know now. Most of us here know now what all these people are. That's one of the reasons why I don't talk about any of this stuff, is because it's just who it came from. Is one of the problems I have with it. The gatekeepers. I realize how much of a gatekeeper this stuff is, and how much it's designed to keep you down this rabbit hole of chasing your tail, which in turn you never end up doing the work for yourself and on yourself that you need to do. And if you don't, and I realize the distraction of it, and now it's not that I didn't glean nothing from it and gain knowledge and other things from it. I did, but we all have to realize that what it is, the rabbit hole trap that it is, and the truther community is just swamped with it. Everybody, it really is. It's how many times are we going to hear the same narrative over and over again? And the only thing that ever changes is maybe some faces and who's telling the story.
Yeah.
The narrative hasn't changed, and I would say since before. Well, okay, so I started becoming awake when the Y2K. I didn't.
Yeah, we were
become
thinking
awake.
back.
I was thinking about doom and gloom type stuff that we've been fed. So Y2K is the first one that I can remember, and I'm sure it goes back before this. We've all been played like stooges, and with the internet, it's been even easier. It's not that it's not that this stuff isn't happening. I'm not dismissing what is really going on.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that the frequency and the manipulation is very rampant compared to, and they've done a very good job because they've got everybody chasing their tail, worrying about this, that, and the other, and not worrying about what really matters, which is, your inner self and your inner work, and becoming free of all of this, and truly free. Not just saying, oh, I'm awake and I'm free. I am free of this system. To truly live it and walk it and be it, and be a man on the land, and, what God intended us to be. Because that was always this has been my search, is what are we intended to be? And I know that it's not what we've been given, and there's more to this and all that. And so I'm not, I'm not gonna, I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And if I see avenues that give me something different and a freer life than that, then that's the avenue I'm seeking. That's the avenue I'm searching for. And I'm not, and until my last breath, that's my mission, is not only for me, because I want this for my children. I want my daughters to be free. I want them to live a life where there's nobody going to come take their property and what they've worked hard for, and to secure their rights, liberties, and freedoms in this world. What I fought for them, to help build them for their future. So then they can build from there. And then maybe, hopefully, in 3-4 generations, we have an influence here of something different of what's supposed to be. Now, you're always going to have a divide. It's not meant to be, everybody on this side. Not all have the eyes and ears to see and hear what is here. Fear runs most lives, and then fear builds. We have great imaginations. So you add imagination with fear. Now all of a sudden you've created something that keeps you stuck in place and never existed.
And then why did they start the truther communities? It was to do their work, was to push more fear. Just to push more fear.
Yeah.
So we're doing the bidding of the fear pushers, of the ones who want to create this energy of fear. Mm-hmm. We've spent years and years and years in rabbit holes and and pushing negative narratives, and some of it is truth, some of it's not truth, and then prolonging it. So we've kind of talked and come to realize that have we been duped this whole time, thinking we're doing something greater, that we're seeing, we're knowing, we're doing something about it, or telling people, or doing whatever, and really, are we doing the opposite of what we want as the outcome? Have we been part of the opposite outcome of what we feel like we were placed here to be?
Right. Yeah.
It's ass backwards, upside down, inside out, and they've used our energy, our pure energy, to create negative. They've used our light and our trueness and our love and our willingness to help people and be better and do better, and used our energy of that to manifest negativity and fear and possibly push these things that they've planted in our minds into fruition.
Right.
I don't know that doesn't happen.
No, I think we through the collective of us, we're able. That's why they sway and push us. That's why the narrative has to continuously be on repeat about things, because they're able to. I believe they know that we can, through our influence of our energy, we can create whatever it is that they want us to give life to. And I think it's that simple. We give life to these things. And I'm not saying like we breathe life into things like God does. That's not what I'm saying. But I believe in my beliefs of things that we are creators. We're able, in this plane of things, we are able to do things. Not on God's level, not in that way, but our energies can influence and move this energies to become reality through, the cosmos of how it works. How that works exactly, I don't know. But I just know that our influences and our energies are very great. And through my own abilities of what I'm able to create my own self, how are we not? It's hard for me not to believe on a collective level. Yeah. When you have enough people thinking the same thing, pushing the same energy in the same direction, that it's not going to create something. It just seems preposterous not to. So that's why I feel this way, is because it just shows. Look, I mean, they through the mass push of the narrative for the 19, they masked up the whole world, and that wouldn't have been done without a large number of people giving into that fear of things. It would have never accomplished if it just, there was enough energy that pushed that to that level where they were able to do that. They were able to show, and basically they were showing us how far they can manipulate the energies of this world. But it's just because people are lost. I think we were talking about this, about people being lost.
Oh yeah.
I heard somebody say they were bored. It's because humans are bored is why we have the world this way. And I don't think it's that way. I think people are lost. We've never had proper instructions of who we are and what we are, and so we're just lost as like what we're able to do and who we are and what we're supposed to do. Like that's one of what draws me to past, ancient history and civilizations that were here before we were, and that were pretty much through cataclysms, wiped out, but not completely, because we're still here. Because I think there was times where we were at a higher level. I don't think I don't honestly believe the aliens built the pyramids or any of the other great wonders of this world. I think we did it. And it's all narrative to undermine us and who we are. Because if we realize how strong we are and how powerful we really are, and how influential our energies are on this earth and this world, it could be one of those great times again. But they have us so disheveled, like I heard Lee said about Babylon. It is like that. It's like it's like the whole world's just in disarray, and we don't know what we're doing. We don't have we're just all just speaking, and we don't understand each other. We're all just everywhere. And there's no the word I'm looking for is harmony. There's no harmony with this planet that we live on, between us and it and its creation, and where our energies are supposed to be and how we're supposed to use them. And I think it's because we don't know how to use them properly, and we're being manipulated in all different directions. So how would we, even if we thought or realized how great we are and our potential of things, there's going to be something that comes along the way where this world's going to be, oh, well, you're not that, and try to prove you wrong. And so then you got to try to create your own way through this, and, like the fake it to make it. You can't do that. This is where it comes in important, I believe, for us to have community, is because when you have those moments of weakness and where you're missing a piece of the puzzle or missing a piece of what makes you great, there's plenty of others around to fill in those pieces and to help each other grow. And then in turn, they grow off of what you've accomplished, and then they can accomplish the same things. Maybe not to the same level of it, but still do the same things. That's like, they use the narrative that we got to treat everybody the same and equal. And here's the thing with that, is that you can't put everybody on the same level of, okay, let's say weightlifting. It's just one random thing, okay? Not everybody's in the same level of weightlifting. Not everybody can lift the same weight. Not everybody's the same weight. Weighs the same. Not everybody's the same strength. Body, from man to woman, boy to girl. So you can't treat everybody the same there. So the same thing goes with everything else in this world. You can't, just because I'm good at something or I'm great at, or I can do something really well, doesn't mean I'm better than somebody. It just means I'm good at that. Somebody else down the road has their own thing that they're great at and good at. And somebody else next to them has something that they're great and good at. But that doesn't mean from one to the next that I know any more than the next. It just means that, well, now we should take this greatness that this person has and build from this person over here, help this person build on where they're weak. But then that involves people getting out of their egos, and out of their feelers of things, Just because you're hearing something from somebody doesn't mean it's a negative, knock you down in the dirt, trying to tear you up, cause you harm, criticism. There is such things as, a good criticism, what's that one? Constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm.
There is that. And it doesn't mean just because somebody's pointing out something that you may not see or fail to acknowledge, doesn't mean that, you're going to, that person's attacking you. We're trying to help each other. We're trying to help each other grow. But see, here's the other thing. That doesn't mean we just sit here and believe everything somebody says. We have to have discernment. People's actions and what they do and how they present themselves on a daily and over again. We have to see how people are and judge our discernment off of that, off of the presentment somebody brings day in and day out. And really listen to what each other says, because I'm sorry, there are some people we probably shouldn't be listening to. And it's not because they don't have good knowledge. They just don't have the wisdom for that knowledge. They don't have life experiences for some of the things that they're speaking on. And so they have no room to be speaking on these things, and they speak on them as though they're an expert. I'll be the first to tell you if I don't know something, that if we start talking about something, I don't know what we're talking about. And you probably won't hear me speak much because why would I? If I don't know a lot, now I'm listening. Now I'm trying to learn. There's other people that may have something more.
Yeah.
But if I do have something to add, then I should be adding that. I should be putting that into, build on the content and the knowledge for each of us. And sometimes, like our title says, we're circling back around again, sometimes that doesn't mean you're going to get, you're not going to go along to get along. But I think it builds if when we don't do that, when we're able to sit and challenge each other and our thoughts and our ideas and ask somebody to give you a better explanation of what it is you believe and how you believe it, then, we should be sharing those
and
things.
that makes me think too, like whenever you had said, like, men nowadays, he's what happened to like men sitting around the fire, talking,
right,
learning from each other, sharpening each other, telling them what they're, helping them with their faults and their weaknesses and building each other up, instead of sitting around a fire and like being all like pussy whipped and talking about their whatever, their how bad their day sucked or whatever. I don't know, but it's like, where is that? Where is that? Where did that go to?
Well, when men are, I have a problem with this is when, I don't know, maybe it's just my upbringing and the way people have talked to me in my life. if men are sitting around talking with each other and sharing ideas and trying to, as I heard one person say, try to save the world. When did men become so worried about offending each other and hurting somebody's feelings over some freaking words? I mean, that's one of the most, if that's not narrative, if that's not programming, I don't know a better example. I'm sorry if there's ladies, I'm not saying that you speak this way to women and children. I don't agree with that. But if men are having a conversation, a discussion, and it gets heated and there's energy exchange and there's a conversation back and forth going on and there's two ideas and two beliefs going back and forth, I'm not going to be sitting here worried about politeness and cordialities of things, because if we're more worried about that, how are we ever going to get down to any kind of solution or even a common ground with each other on our disagreements, or maybe just maybe not even an agreement, but just where you can agree to disagree. We can't even do that.
No, you can't even agree to disagree. It either turns into a fight or it's a, cut you off.
Well, people get all mad and in their feelers, and then they go off and then want to, bitch, complain, make videos for months and do all these silly
make
things.
Videos for months, exactly.
And it's like all because you couldn't take you can't take some words. They're words, all right. Yeah. You gave them the energy. You took them that way. You decided for it to do that to you if it did that to you, but I grew up in a time where I was told over and over again as a child that sticks and stones will break your bones, but words can't hurt you. And when the narrative says words hurt you, why are we listening to this shit? It drives me crazy, man.
Yeah.
Why are you getting in your panties all in a bunch over some damn words?
Yeah, and like I said, men don't philosophize anymore.
No.
And like, we sit here, it's like almost every evening when I'm home, and we sit here and we philosophize up a storm for hours and hours and hours and hours. And it's like, where are people's minds at anymore? They're like, people aren't like willing to expand their minds, their thoughts, their imagination, their intuition. Like, I know at one time I was this, or I was able to do this. How we were talking about, like with the ancient buildings and stuff.
Right.
Like, where, or you were talking, did you already bring that up about the wheel things and
the
not
creativity?
Yet. No,
that was another, another. The creativity's gone. Where's our imaginations and creativity anymore? It's like, I see these pictures of these ancient buildings, or like there was a picture I seen about the unit, not a unicycle, but it was a like one-wheeled cycle. And you sat in the middle of it and the wheel was around you. And these are pictures like back when cars were first starting and stuff. Like this like the idea.
Even if it was just drawings, even if it was just the idea.
These are actual photos, and I don't know if they're real. I wasn't holding the picture in my hand, but just the creativity, the ingenuity, the imagination. All right, Mr. Talcott says, get out of your imagination. Well, if you don't have an imagination, how are we going to come up with anything new and have new ideas and vibrance and growth? It's like there is no new growth anymore. You go watch a movie, it's a if you're okay. I grew up watching movies as a kid and through most middle part of my adults. I've watched a lot of movies from old stuff to B-rated to all kinds of stuff, and everything now is just a regurgitation of what's already been. It's remakes, and Marvel and Disney and them, they're making money because they just stole a billion freaking writing ideas from Marvel when they bought out Marvel and the other comic book companies. So they can just keep making movies off that. It's already been wrote for them over and over again. But there's no creativity. There's no originality. There is. Don't get me wrong. There still is. If you go onto YouTube, there's a lot of people that are up, like real people who still have imagination and creativity, and they're trying. But the overall masses and the overall what we're given, there is no, like, art. You can see it in art, what's considered art. It's like I could have my 3, 5, and 7-year-old go down there and paint the same thing, and it would probably be better.
Yeah, what were you saying? Like, what year you said, like, the creativity stopped? We were, like, trying to think back, like, when creativity stopped, when the music is just on repeat, the movies are on repeat.
Yeah.
Everything is remember we kind of like thought back,
Mhm.
was it like year around 2000,
Which were
like 1999 ish?
99, 2000,
where-
but I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was more, a little bit later. Maybe it was 2012. Maybe that was more around it. Maybe the creativity died then.
Yeah.
Maybe something did die in 2012. It wasn't us, but maybe just a part of us, or
Right.
who knows?
Right.
Now I'm just speculating. Throwing
Yeah, we like to
theories out.
speculate too.
It's not everything I say is. I'll let you know if I believe that's what it is, but there's a lot. And I'll tell you when I'm speculating, because I don't want you to think that that's my belief is set in stone. That's the other thing. There's our belief system of this history of this world. We have to be fluid in that. We can't sit here and say, oh, well, it's this, it's this, it's this.
Mhm.
It's flat. It's we've had five civilizations here.
Yeah, this many
and,
resets.
Napoleon was real.
Yeah.
And Lincoln wasn't, and whatever you're
Whatever
different.
it is,
I'm
yeah.
just, some of them are some really off the wall theories out there. But I'm just saying, we don't have enough of the information. We don't have enough. It's speculation. Always speculate. It's always speculation. And it is, because there's not enough information. We've not been given enough of the information as
Yeah.
far as that goes. So that's what makes me even more believe and push towards everybody becoming their own greatest with their environment and the environment that they want to create. Another, some might call shill, Rex Bear says, be the change you want to see. Well, that holds a lot of weight if you really think about it. Be that change. And then when you be that change that you want to see, your whole world around you changes. It's not that, I'm not saying that the world outside stops, but the way you live your life, the way things happen, the way your life comes about, how things are resolved, how conflicts come, how they're resolved, how great things roll in, and sooner or later your cup's overflowing, and then you can give back to others, and then
And then, isn't that what it's about?
It's
It's getting your cup to be to that point of overflowing, so that you can give and give back and give to and help and just getting right. Getting right. Every action taken,
right.
Getting right with yourself is how you begin to build your cup, how you begin to fill your cup, and then continuing that daily, where you're just filling yourself up with knowing yourself and what's right, and doing what's right, and then doing what's right again, and then continuing to do what's right.
Right.
It's great. Every action taken, all your actions, and not even to a point being like, oh, well, that's good enough.
Right.
You got to get past the good enough.
Right.
We have enough of good enough in this world.
Right.
We need more great in this world. We need more to the best of your ability every time, no matter how tired you are, no matter how beaten down you feel. That is how we change the world.
Right.
Because then your cup will be completely overflowing, and then you can give. And then more of us that do that, the more cups are overflowing, and the more giving there is, and the more helping, and the more the people see your light, and they want to know, what is that?
Right.
How do I get that? And then it's building the community.
And you said that, how do I get that? And that's funny you said that, because there was a thought I had today of that same question. How do we do this? Like, we sit here and say this, and I can sit here and give you some examples, but I think we all have to go back to our foundations of things. What is it that we hold to be right and true in ourselves? Are those foundations true and strong and shored up? Are you, what do you put your faith in? Those, and where I think it starts is in, you got to look at the natural law of things, or the natural way of things. That's where all our foundations need to start. And when we start to deviate from that natural way of things that God's already given to us, and the examples all around us, then our foundations become weaker. And we may not even know, you have a crack here, or you didn't, over here in the corner is not as stable as it should be. But you don't realize it until later on. We've already built foundations up. We've already built our foundations up. A lot of us are standing on them thinking, we have great foundations. And then what happens is that life will come along and smack you in the face, and it shakes your foundations, and then it exposes those cracks and crevices. And once those cracks and crevices are exposed, we start to doubt ourselves. We start to, because we've built these false narratives. Our foundations are not as strong as we need them to be. And so that's one of the things I think Paul really focuses on is those foundations, those, the natural way, the natural law of things. And that's where we have to start. Each one of us, we have to take a good stock of ourselves and where we're at, an honest, view and perspective on ourselves the best we can for what we know. And, always go back to nature. What is the natural way of things? That's the way that's what's worked for me. Is that how is God meant for this to be in the natural way? Is it meant for me to interfere with it as much as we do, or am I supposed to let this, sit in my silence and let this play out more? These are the things that, we each have that we have control over. And I lost my train of thought. God damn it.
The natural way.
Oh, the natural way. Yes, exactly. See, and so our foundations in the natural way. So the more our foundations are built upon these natural ways, the closer we're already to God. We're already building to that, source. And then we build from there. And once we have a good foundation, or, even if we are rock later on, our foundations aren't something that, we got to worry about. It's just, oh, okay, I need to go deal with this, or I need to go deal with that. But it's not like everything. Anyway.
And then we were talking too about this little gnat driving me nuts. We were talking about with the natural way is how, the earth being living, how we were just saying earlier about the earth being living and taking care of itself as far as like when things are spoiled, that not necessarily is it that the, as far as the population reduction agenda thing, that they don't even need to do that whenever things get out of balance so far, when humanity has put in such a tax upon the earth, that it's its own living entity, and we're part of it, so that it will balance itself out in a natural way. And we think like these, the ones who think that they're in charge or that have these great plans to make things better for the earth, for, all of this, is that they don't even need to do that because, through natural disasters or other means as of that, earth will, the planet, this creation that we live on, whatever it is, will take care of it on its own in a natural way.
The cosmic order of things.
The cosmic order of things.
Yeah. And like somebody said here about the trails in the sky, that's on one of those levels of things of, we know what they are. And at this point in time, there's too many people. It's not that we just stop talking about it and you don't point it out and, maybe show somebody here and there, maybe to wake up somebody. But in the overall, I believe that's one of those things that there's the powers that be or whatever, however this thing is going on, they've already got that wrapped up, and there's nothing we're going to do to change any of that. They've already plastered their narrative of helping climate change and all that other stuff. And so it goes into the point of, there's nothing we can do about that. We have to okay, we acknowledge this. We try to maybe share it where we can and we move on, but we can't sit in, and I'm not saying you are, Amber. I'm just saying those are things those are like one of those rabbit holes, I believe. The trails, the GMOs. We need to know these things and we need to share these with things and make sure that others know, that this information doesn't just get swept under the rug and forgot about. But we must do then, as far as not partake in those things and just know that God's protecting us, that there will be a balance. We may not understand all this and we can't control it all, but
we might be totally wrong too.
Yeah, that's
we
true
might
too.
be completely wrong.
Freaking batshit crazy.
Yeah,
I
batshit
really
crazy.
But I had another point I was going with that as far as going with that and then I don't know. Anyway, it eludes me. As long as we know what's right. I mean, yeah. But then again, how much of it, is, I know what it was. That's why I was leading on the chemtrails and stuff. Like some of these people, I don't think they think they're bad people. I really think they think they're heroes or good people in their heart. Now, I could be really wrong here on this one. I'm trying to wrap my brain around some of the just things that people do and trying to understand these things. And one of those things is that I honestly think that some of these people think they're like a hero, or like they're really trying to save humanity and do what's best for the futures of this world. And they don't even realize that the actions that they're taking are creating something worse because of, let's say, their ego or their, their narcissism of that they think that they can do it better than God. And so and God shows us over and over again that we can't do it better than them, but their ego won't allow them to see it. And so they've stuck it in their head that they're heroes. They're like, do the bad guys really the ones that we think are the bad guys or picture as the bad guys, do they really think they're the bad guys? Do they, I know we see it in the movies and the cartoons and things, but a lot of people just think they're doing something either to save themselves or survive their situation, or they think they're actually doing something right. And that could be part of their own programming that they've taken in this world. I'm not making excuses for them. And like I alluded to earlier about the eyes to see and the ears to hear, if they don't have the eyes to hear and the eyes to hear, backwards world, maybe it is the eyes to see and the ears to hear, then maybe they really think they are good people, and so to sit and judge, where I'm going with this is to sit and judge these people as though they know that they're evil. I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if we can sit here and say, yeah, that's an evil person, that person
Right.
knows he's doing bad. Because in his mindset of things, he might think that the things that he's doing is projecting the world into a better future.
Right.
And granted, delusional, yes. I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to say, understand where these people are coming from, because or it's just I'm not a crazy person like that, and I don't feel that way, that I need to do anything to make anything right in this world, or that I need to change anything that this world's the way this world already is as far as the natural way of things. We fuck it up more, I believe, by messing with things instead of working with it. And if we would be in more harmony with it and work with it more versus trying to conquer it, then we would have a better time here. But yes. Wait, what'd you say, Lee?
Here, right here. Right on mine.
Right. Oh yeah. Right. They were convinced, and there are a lot of people, like, there's been reports, I can't say it's true because I didn't actually talk to these people, but a lot of these pilots that do the spraying, they think that they're doing something good for humanity. They're saving the planet. They're doing what others won't do, and that's why it has to be that way. And they continue the narrative, oh well, it's nothing, when they know that the pilots that are doing this know that there's something that, and I do believe though, but there is something in them that's poking at them that wants them to ask the question of, hey, wait a minute, but they don't, because of whatever foolish programming veils scales over the eyes that they may have. Justice. Exactly, Indigo. That's a lot of it, and it's that. Well, that's one of the. I was telling Jack the other day. I believe we live in the Great Delusion right now. Everybody is already under the Great Delusion. Everybody is delusional to this world around them.
And if you think about delusional, what I was hearing was diluted. So it's like everybody is diluted in their spirit, in their soul, in their consciousness. It's diluted. It's not concentrated. It's not full of its fullness that it's supposed to be. It's delusional because everyone is diluted. We're washed. We're like washed, thinned out. Where it's not strong. It's weak, and so yeah. That's what I was hearing with that. That's part of the problem, is everyone is diluted.
Mm-hmm. Diluted and delusional.
Yeah.
And it's not about being in your imagination, I don't think. It's just, and it is maybe partly, but it's because of what we've like fed ourselves or been told was okay to feed ourselves. Hey, Salted Cedar. Hey, Smith. Hope you're still doing good today. What is the delusion and people and I'm sorry, I got distracted with I was excited seeing people in here, so I'll just tell her and hi. We're doing really good.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm trying to find something here and I can't find it.
NJ, that makes me so mad.
What is it?
You know what? Mr. T will get what he deserves in the end. It will come to him. And
it's all going to come crashing down.
it's going to
on him
come
one of these
crashing
days.
down because
The sad thing is that how high up is he going to go before it happens? Before it's all pulled out from under him, you know. Hopefully he'll get it, but he's not going to. So, but what did I miss? I'm sorry. I just wanted to add that. That person.
Jack was belittling Brian about on the live stream tonight about his co-op interaction.
Jack was?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm just
Oh
said.
my God.
Yeah.
Like that man has anybody in the room to talk about it. He's the most scared. He talks about no fear, but you could see it in his eyes. He's like a scared rabbit. There's a yellow streak up that man's back a mile long. You get him in a bad situation, he's running the other way, leaving you standing there holding the bag.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. And Brian had more balls to deal with that cop than Jack ever would.
Yeah.
Fucking
absolutely.
people want to talk bad about people when they're actually standing up to something that we all should be doing. I don't have the balls to do that yet in life.
Mm-mm.
I barely like talking to them, period, let alone, bucking the system in that way. But I'm a coward in some ways. I have my own shit that I'm a slave to. I still have part of it. But I'll admit it. I know I am. I know that they still got me by the balls at this moment. But I'm working on that and going to figure that out. And my whole status and all that's going to change. And it's there. It's in front of all of us. It's all there for us to have and to walk out that gate. It's just what it is. It's just a matter of being like Brian and have enough balls. Have enough balls like Youngster did the other day and drive around and had the interaction with the cops and got to go home. To me, if you're living in the right space, these things work themselves out in the proper way. Even if you did have to go to jail, it's still going to work itself out. Because I've had other situations that weren't like this, but where I was in the right and they worked out. They worked out how they were supposed to, and they worked in my favor because I was in the right. I was doing the right thing. I was standing in being, and I don't have those kinds of examples of, bucking the system, but I do have examples of where things have turned out in my way, in my benefit against the system of things that it shouldn't have, but it was because of the way I handled things is why it did. So.
I hear Jude yawning down there, 3 floors down. Yeah.
Archie went on Jax? Huh. Paul's been trying to get him to come up on for like weeks now. Not anymore. He banned him, didn't he? Never mind.
Yeah. Whew.
John Hopkins means son of Hob. Nuts. Put it down. Huh. I did not know that, Smith.
Is that
There's a
guitar
lot of that
pick
kind
on
of
your
stuff
necklace?
going on.
No, it's not a guitar pick. It's a gem. It's a black tourmaline, and it's kind of like a triangle shape. Kind of looks like a guitar pick, though.
It's beautiful.
I'm hot.
I don't blame you, NJ. I'm not, I just here recently started talking about anything in my past, really. Tidbits here and there, or any of my interactions with things, really. Smith, you still doing good today like you were earlier? If not, it's what it is, but I hold no judgment. Jonathan, only come around.
Yeah, I'm hot. I am. I'm
It's
burning up.
in here.
Woo!
You got like 100 degrees in here. Jackie is hot, though. Yes, she is.
Oh my gosh. Woo.
I think let's see,
talked.
what else are we going to talk about?
I think
got
that's
nothing
it.
else on our list.
I feel empty.
We've covered quite a bit.
Yeah.
Shared a lot today.
NJ.
Smith is a whack job.
NJ just speaks what
Yeah, I
comes
know.
to her mind.
I know. Smith has potential.
That's what Josh says. He has potential. Well, I feel good.
As we all do.
we
We just all have to realize how much potential we really have. That's the big thing. And it's limitless, I believe.
Oh, I'm glad Feather
We just
Bear.
have to overcome this world's bullshit that told us otherwise. Whatever that may be, however this world decided to tell you that. Because everybody's a little bit different, but in the end, I think it's all still the same energy.
Okay, everyone raise their hand if they think Josh should be sitting next to Paul up on his panel for a few days. Everyone raise their hand. We're trying to get Paul up on Unslaved for
Calling upon
I
Unslaved.
was trying to get Josh
He's already there.
up with Paul on Unslaved for months now. I said, I don't know if you could keep quiet. Salted Cedar has his hand up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, Josh, you need to go. You need to get up there. I almost had him up on Paul's last night. I had the laptop up. I had his thing open. I had the StreamYard link to the side. I'm like, okay, you just have to hit the one button and you'll be up there.
Do you want to know the honest reason why she didn't get me up there last night?
Why?
Because she was trying to use manipulating tactics to get me to do it, and I will not do it.
I said,
over that.
it's my birthday. Get up there and sit next to Paul and have a conversation.
If that is what you want, Josh. Well,
Yeah.
I love Paul. I think he's great. I love his presentment. I love his energy. I love his I don't give a fuck attitude. But it's not an I don't give a fuck attitude. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's-
It's a I give
that's-
too much of a fuck
right.
attitude.
And I don't know. I resonate with him, and I do
Smith,
want to get
you're
up
good.
there. I'm just a pussy, you know. Yeah, that's just what it is.
Oh, my
I have to
gosh.
admit. What I've run out of
Why?
excuses.
I know.
have
What
no-
are the excuses?
I have
It's
no-
been
I
6
have-
months
I
now.
have
You say I need to get
I have
up there on
nothing.
Paul's. I need to get
I
up
have
there on
nothing.
Paul's.
And there has been reasons, but at
There
this
has been
point,
a lot
I'm
of good
just-
reasons, but there has been a lot of not good reasons. A lot of nights. where
it's
you haven't hit
confidence.
it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But see, you know, I've been working on that. It's one of those things that Paul does. If you have something that you know is there that you need to work on, it's going to be he brings it out of you. I don't know how he does it. He's just got a knack for that, and it's just what it is my own self confidence of things, and just I got to get past this and get on with it. Stop being a pussy, and you know, and
You're not a pussy.
I'm not a pussy. That's what bothers me. That's
What
that's
is
what
it?
fucking bothers me. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I'll bet Paul will bring it out.
I'll bet you know that's what it is. You know there's something in there he's going to bring out. He's choking
No.
on his coffee.
I know what it is.
Yeah,
already
do it
know
when
what
it
is.
feels right. Exactly.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work either. I've already been telling myself that too, and then it doesn't happen. I just gotta do. See,
Just
this
have
what
to
I
do it.
see. This
I'm
is
like,
my,
I get up there all
this
the
is-
time. What's so
it's like-
hard?
it's
I just
my
hit the
own-
button and I'm like, hi, Paul.
it's my own lesson. Like I stand on doing. You have to do. If you don't do,
Yeah.
you're never going to do. You're never going to achieve. You're never going to grow. You're never going to become better. You're never going to know what you can or cannot do. And so I'm not following my own advice, and my own wisdom, and my own knowing. You know, who knows? I don't know. Try not to go in it with
Let me
any
get you
expectations.
Talcott Express. Let me get your channel
See
so
you
I
on
can
my
make sure I'm
channel,
on it.
Josh. Okay.
You have 1 subscriber and no videos.
Yeah, I think I was going to subscribe to you one time in life, and then I was like, you don't have any, or is that recently?
I
Did
don't
you just
know.
make a channel? No, you had to be there
No.
for a while. So anyway,
Maybe he means Talcott. He's being Talcott.
is that Talcott?
No.
That's not Talcott. What?
No,
See you on-
but-
oh, I see. He's playing the part
Of Talcott, yeah. He's no, yeah. Are you going to go up on Talcott's?
No,
Why not?
I'm not giving that man my energy. The next person I give my, as far as other than our lives, the next person I give my energy to will be on Paul's live. That is one thing I have told Jackie is that I'm not that I'm any special or anything. I'm just, you know, I'm not giving Talcott my energy. I wasted time on the last time It wasn't
The
a waste
only
of
time he was on Paul's.
It wasn't a waste of time, but Jack wasted my time on Paul's panel one time when I was on there for 2 hours. And so I'm not giving Jack any more of my time. I'll go in his chat and razz him and get him all fired up, but I'm blocked now, so I can't do that anymore. Because he hates me. He really doesn't like anything I ever have
Every
to
time
say
Josh makes a comment in his chat, because it's always Josh knows just the right things to say to get to him, and he will highlight.
It ain't
his
about
comment.
saying the right things. It's about I just point out what you don't want to admit to, and you've already shown everybody. So it's not like it's hard. He denies everything, but there's hours of proof that shows otherwise. So, I can't support anyone who's like that. And I refuse to give that person any kind of energy. And I just made myself this promise that I know that Paul's is the next place that I need to go to, and that's just my calling of things. And so after I go there, then I'll probably go up on some other panels and be more of a presence. This is like my practice. I've been telling Jackie. See, I've graduated. We went from, but I didn't really graduate. I regressed. I regressed, and now I'm doing, I don't know what you call this. Excuses. Shut up, Josh.
Excuses. I love you, Josh.
I love you too, Josh.
All right.
And I love everybody here tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for coming.
everybody for all your great
listening.
comments and sharing your energy with us and your support.
I'm sorry I did most of the talking and didn't give Jackie much time to talk. It is
I
her
talked all
birthday,
day
but
today. That's all right. I had my 3-hour stream today.
I don't hate Jack. I want
No.
to don't judge me. I don't hate Jack. I want the best for Jack. I want Jack to be better than what he is. I want Jack to be accountable and responsible for all things in his life. And for what he says and does and tries to get others to do and say and get to do in their way and walk of life, he's, in my opinion, not lived those things that he says others should be doing. And so I don't think he has the life experience behind the knowledge that he has. He has knowledge, but I don't believe he has wisdom. So I can't follow somebody who has knowledge but no wisdom with that knowledge, because that's a fool's errand. And I think when you follow somebody like that and give somebody that your time and attention like that, not only are you wasting your time, but you're feeding their issues. And so that's just to be clear. I don't hate anybody. I love Jack. Jack's a very smart man. I take nothing away from Jack and his abilities to speak and the knowledge that he has. I just don't believe that he has the wisdom for that knowledge. And he's not the first person in my life that I've ever met that's like that. And he just screams that, and he shows it, and he's shown his ass over and over again. And all you got to do is just go back to, when he first made his first appearance at Paul's and how it's progressed from there. And, he makes Paul out to be like he's the bad guy, and I've witnessed otherwise, and so has others. And he doesn't take any responsibility for any of his actions or things that he has done there or in his life. And so I can't give somebody like that my energy. And so that I don't give people like that my energy anymore. I'll have a conversation with him. I would talk to him. But as far as like going on his panel or giving him anything to, create content or motivate him, because he's not somebody who wants to listen to anybody else. Tonight on his live, in the 20 minutes we listened, I heard him say 5 times, "I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I was lost in whatever," when somebody was talking directly to him. I mean, that doesn't show people that he doesn't really care what others have to say. And it's not, you go back, watch. Just play a drinking game of how many times Jack says that in his live, and you'll be drunk by the end of his live stream. And it's just that kind of, I can't give somebody that kind of energy. And somebody who isn't willing to see his own flaws and his own things of his own accord, when many of people have shown him and tried to tell him the things, and I'm not here to change him. That's like I was telling Jackie, I can't do his work. I can't do his walk, but we all should say we're doing him an injustice when we just agree with him to go along to get along. Feed his ego and his, because it's not good for him in the end. And it's not good for the others that are doing that. And especially if because there's some people over at Jack's that know about Jack and know how Jack really is. And
they go along
to get along. They go along because they hate on somebody else,
or just to be
seen.
Yeah.
Or, and I want Jack, I would love for Jack to take off and become great, but also with some true humility and some true wisdom. But that's just me. And others could say, we could sit here and we could sit and tear down each other all we want, and I don't want to do that. I want Jack to grow and become more and better, and because he has that potential too, just like everybody else does. We all do. That's the thing. We all have the potential to be as great as Father created us to be. So that's what I wish for everybody, and I just wish we all could look in the mirror and be honest with ourselves and the things we see, and take in the things that others say, and try to become better and greater. Yeah, and Jay, I agree. Yeah, you can see exactly why. It shows it, like I tell Jackie. It's not just him; it's many people. Like, just give people enough time, they're going to show their ass. They're going to show, if they're really true or not, if that's who they are or not, if that's how they are. They're not only in what they say, but in the things they talk about, their actions, their what they've done, their results in life. It's going to show it, like a little boy. Yeah. Sasquatch, good to see you.
He said he was lurking. He's been lurking.
That's good.
I said, I'm glad.
I'm glad. Glad to see you around. Yeah, don't judge me, I met him once on Paul's, and we had about a 2-hour back and forth. Him and Tribe and I. Yeah,
it was Josh, Tribe, and Jack. Paul left the screen and let
the three of us go.
Tribe. This was way back at early Jack stage.
Yeah.
Of Paul. It didn't go so good.
And then it was the Jack show. Pretty much, it had been the Jack show prior to that, and I was like, well, maybe I could help say something here. And no, nobody can. No, but I've seen multiple people try to talk to that man. Well, and come at him in all kinds of different ways, the nicest can be, in the most gentlest ways, and he rejects everything and anything everybody has to say, and that's no way to be. In this growth of things, you can't reject what others come to you and bring to you, and you at least need to take it in and sit with it for a minute and at least think about it, and when it keeps coming up over and over again, then maybe there's some truth behind it. I don't know. That's what life tells me anyway. If something tells me the same message over and over again, you probably should get the message. But not all have the eyes to see. I got it right that time, and the ears to hear.
Yeah.
Like we should.
All right. Well, my ass hurts. I'm sitting on this chair.
Disentangle, yes.
Disentangle, yeah.
That one should.
And I have a what's the word I want to use? A task for somebody. Anybody who can do this on our next live stream or one of my daily live streams or my ones I do during the day. If anyone could count the amount of times I touch my hair during the live stream, I will give you a present. Because I like to make fun of myself. So I watch back my live stream and I can't even count the amount of times I touch my hair during my live streams.
Lee, you just brought something up that sparked it in here about she said, where did it go? Jack hates himself, sadly. That's another thing Jackie and I were talking about this week, is about loving thyself. And, how can you love anybody, or even, okay, let's start, even if you don't love yourself, let's start with, how about you like yourself? Start with liking yourself, finding ways to like yourself. Because how can we love and like, or even like or love anyone around us or treat them in that way or shape if we don't even for our own selves? If we don't have that same respect for ourselves and that same gratitude for ourselves, how can we share that with somebody else? Wouldn't that be fake? I get it. Okay, so you might be in a bad place and you're not thinking that, in that way, but that's one of the things I think we all need to work on. You need to work on yourself to find yourself that you like and love, so you can give back to this world, true like and love, like truly give back. And because it's like I've heard many times in this life, is that if you don't love yourself, how can you love thy neighbor? You're supposed to love thy neighbor like you love thyself. Well, if you don't love thyself, you can't love thy neighbor. So that's, it's not egocentrical. It's not something bad to love yourself. It's not, you're not going to go to hell, because that's where humility steps in a little bit. You have to have humility with it. It's not as though you get to that point where you're, egotistical about the whole situation, but you still do have to love yourself and love what God has created and what God has given you and who you are and what you have been given. I didn't choose this, but I was given this. And so why not love it? I'm stuck with it. I might as well love it and learn to love it. We can learn to love a lot of things in this world. Look at, shit that we're programmed all the time to love shit that we didn't really, when you think about it, you don't really love or like. So it's easy to do it for yourself. So anyway, you sparked that in me there, Lee. So I wanted to make sure I shared
There's
that.
lots of things that spark in Josh whenever he talks about Jack.
But I wasn't talking about Jack.
I know, but just in general,
Oh.
like, because they were saying about Jack not
What-
feeling he's hard on himself.
Huh? What'd you just say?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, I lost that. What'd you just say
I
about
didn't
Jack
say
and his hard on
anything.
himself?
They said Jack's hard on himself. He's
Oh.
actually really hard on himself.
Is he? Or is he a snake oil salesman and playing y'all? That's what I think. I think he's playing everyone. And I think when he shuts the camera off, he's a whole different person. Now granted, Margot's, I think, like, his ego-ness and but I really think that, like, when Margot talks about him, Jack is really that way. I don't think he's, that's my opinion and my view. Everybody has the right to their own view. But I think the man's a snake oil salesman, and I don't think he really lives what he preaches. And that's just my view on it. I don't see it. You don't, when that camera goes off, you're not who you want everybody to believe. So I'm not that young, Lee. I am young, but I'm 44, so I'm getting there.
Getting there.
Josh was like, I'm not even talking.
I know, he gets me. I have heard him and then made up something. The rest, I do that a lot. It's hard to take in all those words all the time. Can you imagine living with those words all the time? You miss some of them sometimes. You go into your imagination other times.
She's being honest. I can't be mad at that. Hey, don't judge me. I agree. Margot is
Yeah.
a snake in the oil.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that
I
she's
think
innocent
that
in any
too.
way,
No,
shape, or
I know.
form at all. That lady is just, I think, not nice. I think she's worse than, I think she really is worse than Jack. Because have you seen her? Oh my God, it looks like
She's-
Cruella de Vil. I don't know, but I'm trying not to pass judgment. Listen, I really isn't. But it's hard to just, those are just my thoughts and my ideas.
Yeah.
Being open and free, sharing. That's it. Take it how you want. In the end, I still love everybody. I still all want you to be the best, even if she is, a snake in the oil. Then I still wish and hope that she sees that and becomes better. But she already thinks she's doing better, so you're not gonna fix. I don't think you're gonna fix that one either.
I've even had the thought that I was telling Josh. I even had the thought that Jack is so much of it's all like such a fake thing that they brought Margot along to just justify Jack being real, and that really Margot's not real and Jack's not real, and really just like Jack brought along or whoever is behind this whole thing. And then I had a dream. I forgot to tell you this. I had a dream the other night that I listened in on a phone call where all the players, it was like Paul and Jack and OTW and like all the haters of Paul were all on this group call together, and they're like all like inspiring. And I'm listening in, I'm like, oh my God, they're all like doing this, and we're just like all falling for this whole big stage. I'm like, I think I'm on YouTube too much. I'm having dreams about this. Yeah, you're convinced. See, don't judge me. I had that dream that I'm listening. I'm like, no, Paul, this isn't real. You're not really in with them. I'm like, I'm really losing it. It's probably true. I know. We're just all sitting here making videos and having conversations about it. But maybe somehow it's helping us, right?
Maybe it's keeping us in another rabbit hole.
It's another rabbit hole.
Keeping us safe. We're safe in this animal farm, all right? They're trying to save us.
Holy! I'm like, really?
I'm so
I'm like,
lost.
they go.
I'm sorry, Indigo. This has just been
Oh,
some
I know. It's
metaverse mingling
Metaverse,
of
yeah,
things that,
yeah.
that meshing different channels.
different
A lot of
channels.
us
A
have
lot of us,
experienced
yeah,
here.
together. Woo!
The metaverse is a very interesting place.
Yeah,
As I've heard many say lately, it's fascinating.
it's very
absolutely
fascinating.
People are fascinating. Humans are fascinating.
Oh,
I had a dream
Yeah.
Tom was shot at my vehicle and he drove it.
isn't that great?
Oh no, Tommy's in your dreams. Oh,
Oh no!
Yeah.
I don't think.
take a break. You need a break.
Yeah, you need a break. You need a metaversal vacation, like a sedation vacation. You need a metaversal vacation. All right, I think I'm good. I think I need to go. Whew. Yeah, I do too, Salty. I have an aversion to both of them. I wanted to like Margot at first just because she was speaking against Jack. And then I felt bad for Jack because Margot was so mean to Jack. Then I felt bad for Jack. And then I felt bad for Margot again. And I'm like, I just got to get away. I just got to get away. Oh, okay, great. Oh, Nut House is live. Cool. All right. Thanks, Seven. We'll see you later. We're getting off anyway. We're getting off. I mean, we're leaving. It is my birthday. Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for
Thank you,
coming.
everyone.
Thank you for laughing and listening.
Thank you. Yeah. You guys are all awesome. We had over 20 in the house the whole time, which is great. And we're going to be doing this more because why not?
Right.
We got things to say. Josh has more things to say, don't you?
Probably.
Probably.
Give me a topic. We can talk about it.
He'll stay up all night talking.
I can talk.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know if I don't know. And I'll be like, yeah, I don't know. But I'll listen.
All right.
But,
All right.
I can
so-
add too, but, I've talked for 3
All
hours.
right, Josh, enough.
Well, you got...
It's my birthday. Let's go do something else.
Oh, thanks, Jackie Josh. Happy birthday, Jack.
Thank you, everyone. All right. This is Jackie Fox 333. You have a great, blessed, and light-filled rest of your night.
This is Phoenix Fox, Joshua Fox. We'll see y'all later. Peace, love, and bubblegum, and we'll see y'all again soon. Don't know when, but soon.
All right. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.